Hello and welcome to week 7 of my account update series, where I'll be spending roughly £50 a month in the hope of accelerating this account in the new era of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. There's a lot to go over this week because it's actually been over a week since my last update, which I did before I went away for Christmas. So I'm actually recording this I think 10 days later on New Year's Eve, or Hogmanay as we call it in Scotland. So yeah, Happy New Year to everyone by the time this comes out, and I hope you've had a great festive period and are looking forward to the year ahead. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump straight into the many updates over those last 10 days. So let's just hop into the farms. So first of all, and probably most important, is I finally completed the SLKR farm by completing his ultimate. So I was just farming the dark side tickets on the dark side battles for several weeks. I didn't really see a point in accelerating it, so just slowly got it ready over those weeks, and now it's finally done. I can go back to my regular farms, which also include light side, which is great news. And yeah, happy to have that completed in the books. First GL, all the Zetas, Galactic Legend ticket, all ready to go. So I think that's that initial chapter of the account in terms of buying the Lightspeed bundle for SLKR done, and I'm definitely in full swing in terms of profundity and really focusing on that, and that's where most of my other updates are. So I've been working a lot in terms of improving the Home One fleet, which is the fleet I'm working on while I'm farming profundity, and I've made good progress in terms of finishing like farming characters like Scarif Rebel from Galactic War, bringing them all up to gear 12, and also farming Jin's gear, who will be my next relic, who I should be able to relic up on this video. But you may have noticed that in this gear 12 pilot section there is some intruders, some relic 3 Zeb and Akbar, and that's because I may have succumbed and purchased another Lightspeed bundle. Now, I wasn't planning on really buying that many Lightspeed bundles in this account, just because I don't think, I guess for me, it's too interesting. I think it's definitely the most efficient way to go about things, but just in terms of having fun and making videos, I don't just want to be buying Lightspeed bundles. But this one made sense to me for a few reasons. I'll just bring up what was in that Lightspeed bundle. So the Shadows of the Empire Lightspeed bundle, which is a permanent one for under 4 million accounts. Yeah, so here is, I don't know what this currency is, I presume Canadian dollars maybe, but it was 10 of the King's pounds, and which is, I guess, really good value when it comes to Lightspeed bundles. They don't tend to be that great value anymore, and you get, how many is that, 13 relic characters and a bunch of ships. I won't go through those now, but they are the 2 X-Wings for these guys and the 2 Phoenix ships as well. And the reason I bought it is because primarily I wanted to shore up my Home One fleet by getting relics for characters who I wouldn't really want to work on anyway. So that is mostly Zeb for his Phoenix ship, as well as Kanan. Kanan's great in the Phoenix team anyway, but in particular Zeb I wouldn't have relicked if not for buying this bundle. And then also this is more of like a loan of a relic, because Akbar we're getting a Lightspeed token in a couple of months. That's nice to have him for the next few months to perform well in Fleet Arena, and then it also comes with a bunch of what I would call useless characters who are requirements, so those are ones that I won't have to worry about in the future, and that's these 2 here. Who else? Lando, who's a requirement for Leia, R5, but that's him pretty much done. Also Princess Leia requirement for JML. So yeah, there's a lot of overlap with this and the Lightspeed tokens that are coming out, like for these guys, Lay Akbar. So it's not the, I guess, most efficient thing in the world. And also I had put a little bit of investment in terms of Gear 12 into things like Zeb. But my thinking was that I was looking at ways of, I guess, just speeding up the Home 1 farm in terms of its power a little bit quickly. And I was looking at other packs and stuff that could maybe help towards it, but it all felt kind of silly to do that when I could just spend £10 on a single Lightspeed bundle to cover everything. So this would, I guess, save a little bit of money, and yeah, it would have just felt a bit ridiculous to buy other packs when there's something much more valuable. And also a very, I guess, niche use of this is that it gets the ships up to ability level 7, which is really valuable to me because I'm really strapped for ship ability materials at the moment. So even just getting a little helping hand in terms of those purple and gold pieces is really great. So it fit quite a nice sort of niche use in the account in terms of buffing up characters who I wouldn't really want to work on but are pilots for the Home 1 fleet. Yeah, so that's the Shadows of the Empire Lightspeed bundle, and that's why there's quite a good amount of progress. In terms of other things, I can't exactly remember, but yes, I don't think I quite had Bistan at Relic 5 last time. I was just about to buy the token, I think the very next day, but that is Bistan up for his ship alongside Scarf Rebel Pathfinder. I probably won't bother taking him up to relics. I think that'll be fine for now. Jin and Cassian will go to relics. I'll actually just do that now with Jin. I've been slowly in the background while I've been mostly farming relic materials to take characters up to R7 for various uses. I've been slow farming the gear 13 for Jin and also for Cassian. I've got good progress on, so let's just pop her up to gear 13, and I think I should have enough hopefully to take her to relic 5. So this will be another requirement done for the profundity. Will give a little bit more power to Cassian's U-Wing. Not the most vital ship to have sort of higher stats. I'm currently using it as a reinforcement. I may now, especially when I get Cassian up, maybe switch it to the starting lineup, maybe experiment with that. Oh dear, that's not good. Let's see if we can, hopefully that magical piece is in. It is not. I'm going to have to do something inefficient for our video. I don't like that. So this piece is a decent backup piece and you can craft it pretty easily. I needed 10. Yeah, so let's just convert that. You can craft it fairly reliably. So yeah, that's fine. Don't normally do that just because I've been relicking a lot of characters as I go through. So I was embarrassingly out of chromium transistors. So let's, yeah. And I'm starting to run low on the grey signal data actually, so we'll start to pick that up. Yeah, so that's another profundity requirement done. Next up will be Cassian. Already got good progress in terms of the gear for him, and part of the reason for that is actually Conquest. I've been doing normal mode Conquest, so which is actually pretty good for getting gear 12 gear. So been working through that and using some Mark II raid currency as well. In terms of other relics, I think these were all here last time. Captain Drogon doing great work at R7, which I'll go through when discussing the fleet, which I hadn't unlocked last time. So yeah, starting to really get up and running with the Home 1 fleet. In terms of other stuff, so literally yesterday, I'm losing track of time, we had the next round of anniversary Lightspeed tokens and I got all of them. I actually didn't take Shakti up. What am I doing? Let's do that. Definitely don't use that token on her. Fantastic. And this, yeah, as you can see, keeps crashing. Yeah, back in the game, for some reason, about 70% of the time when I apply an anniversary Lightspeed token to a character, the game just crashes, which is annoying but Shakti and 2 Zetas. I think one of them is her lead Zeta, so it's probably not that worthwhile. But 2 Zetas, I mean, this one has been great in terms of Zetas. Sort of 2, 2, 3, 2, and I'll go on to him in a little bit. So yeah, we got these 4 Jedi from completing the various quests. These 3 I will probably start taking up to Relic 3 at a minimum soon, just when I can farm up a little bit more of that relic material and signal data. I think all will have their various uses in Jedi teams. Shakti in particular in the raid, Mace Windu just as the tank, Grandmaster Yoda as well is a really good sort of support unit. Keller and Beck I took straight to R7, and that was initially to help out in Conquest, but also to get him ready for when the raid comes back, which it hasn't quite yet for my guild. So I will be using him hopefully to get either a 450k or a 600k, because he will have a very high relic delta. R7, we'll have to see how that goes, and he's an R7 requirement for Bo-Katan. Yes, that will be quite a ways off, but I'm not too bottlenecked for getting to R7, and he will be the sort of main Jedi lead for my teams for quite a few months, probably at least 4 or 5 months. So I think it's worthwhile for me to bump him up to R7. It's probably not needed. R5 would probably do, but just for the sake of ticking something off, I have him up to R7. Another person I have up to R7 is Master Qui-Gon. So that goes along with Padawan Obi-Wan, who was already there for Conquest, and I unlocked him through the sort of general Jedi Lightspeed token, so got him to 7 stars, his Zeta, and Relic 0 bumped him up to Relic 7, which was perfect timing because yesterday was the Duel of the Fates assault battle, so I was actually able to complete the 7 tier with him and Padawan Obi-Wan, pretty straightforward, and sort of tick that objective off, get good rewards, a little bit of signal data, mods, relic material, and actually credits as well, which is quite beneficial for this size of an account. So yeah, really happy to have that sorted at this time. And then in terms of other things I'm working on, I am working on, as I mentioned, bringing up Jin and Cassian just through your normal, manual farming, but just getting to gear 13. Next up will be Cassian, who I will eventually take to R8. I'll need to work out when I'd want to do that, so I'm probably going to start slowing down on all of these, like R7s and R5s, maybe still some R3s for the Lightspeed token teams, as I start to focus my relics on all these profundity characters, because I'm going to hit a point where I don't really need to farm gear anymore, so I can switch back to relics. And I've got some like Mark III saved up. Oh, and it is triple drops tomorrow, so I'm hoping to get back up and running in terms of signal data. So he should actually be completed pretty soon. I think by the time the next raid finishes, I just have a few more bits and pieces to pick up, and through Conquest as well. These are the ones I will use Lightspeed tokens on. So my next Erodium Lightspeed token, which I actually should have now, I'll go through that later in the video, but for Admiral Radis, we have the Christmas gift, the Chromium Lightspeed token, and I think I will use that on Admiral Radis. The reason behind that is that he is the easiest farm out of those 3 characters. Dash Rendar is Cantina, so I want to avoid that to save signal data. Mon Mothma is just a slightly more expensive hard node farm, I believe. I think Radis is only 60, and I think Mon Mothma is 80. Let's just double check that before I go ahead. Yeah, so very marginal gain, but it makes sense to use the one that will give less stars on Radis, because both will need to go to R5 anyway. So yeah, it makes sense just to apply it to Radis, which I'll do now. He does need to go up to R9, so I'll be really focusing relic materials on this guy. really starting to progress towards profundity. I will have a sort of functional Rogue One team up and running with him, Jin, K2SO, Bistan, and Cassian, of course, once he gets to relics, which should be before GAC next week, hopefully. So yeah, that will be fantastic. In terms of other stuff, I'm sort of starting to look ahead into what will be my next manual relics, which I'll sort of slowly chip away at in the background. One will be Han, who's not a requirement for profundity, but you really want him at a decent level for the Millennium Falcon, and also I'll eventually need him for things like Jabba anyway. General Veers, I'm going to farm and hoard enough gear to take him to relic 3 or 5 potentially. I'm farming him for the 2 assault battles you can use Imperial troopers for, but I'm not entirely sure how Relic Delta will impact things. You, I think, can do it with him at Gear 12, or you could have done it with him at Gear 12 before with a few other Relic characters, but that might not be possible. So I'm going to see how it goes at Gear 12, and if not, I'm just going to apply the Relic materials on him. It's not 100% ideal, but I just like to get those 2 assault battles up to challenge tier 3. And I can make use of Imperial troopers at this point in the game. So, and he is a requirement for Sith Eternal Emperor. I know I'm not too interested in farming him, but at least he is a requirement, so that's good. In terms of future Lightspeed tokens, the next one will be Scout Trooper. Actually, probably the next one after Mon Mothma, I will apply on Scout Trooper. I will probably wait till after him to apply it on Dash Rendar, just because I'm still a couple of months away from unlocking profundity, just due to the ship farms. And he'll be very quick to get to 7 stars because he's Cantina, and I could make use of Scout Trooper for those assault battles that I mentioned beforehand. Then I'm going to start moving on to layer requirements. So Nisa would be the main one, be the most beneficial in terms of what's left to get to relics quickly, and even then she's not too useful, but will help in terms of unlocking C-3PO. I put Darth Talon here as a sort of wild card. If a space opens up, I will apply a Lightspeed token on her, because at that point I will already have 3 Starkiller requirements and she would just be the last one, so that might be a fun side project. Yeah, so that's everything in terms of the characters. A lot going on. I'll hop on over to the ships. So similar to the character farms for the home one, have been making good progress in terms of the ship farms. So these 2 were 6 stars, so I was farming them before, but they've jumped up to 7 stars because of the Lightspeed bundles, and also up to ability level 7, which isn't game changing, but it is nice just to save on those ability materials a little bit. Cassian's, I think this was done last time, but that's a very easy 7 star. I have pushed to get this ability up to max, just because it's good to have a few more buff dispels on the team, given my current situation. Rebel B-Wing, so this is probably the biggest one. So the only way you can farm this currently is in episode shipments, so you can farm 20 shards a week. So just after the last update I was able to unlock, and then there's been another episode shipment, so he is up 3 stars. Next week will be up 4 stars, and then after that I may ease off the episode shipment purchases when he hopefully becomes farmable, which is taking a while, I think because it's Christmas, but even at 2 and 3 stars has still been fantastic. Would be nice to get a little bit higher, just because it is an attacker and is a big damage dealer, so that would be nice, but the sort of unique and reinforcement abilities are the important things for this ship. So yeah, that's really helped. Other things, just slowly working away on Raven's Claw. I got Kyle Katarn up to 7 stars, still plugging away at the ship itself, working on abilities because these materials are so rare at the moment. I'm just trying to work out the best possible next one to apply in terms of helping with specific counters in Fleet Arena. And yeah, so those are the main Home 1 ships. Obviously got Akbar up to Relic 3, and then just in the background farming some bounty hunter ships and also Rogue One. So that's all going well. Let's actually hop on over to Fleet Arena. So I'm down to number 2 now, but for most days I've actually been able to get rank 1 with this Home 1 fleet. Even at the very start when I didn't have those relics on other characters, it was a lot more sketchy, I would say, but it was still working. And yeah, so I've been able to get pretty much rank 1 for the majority of this week after I unlocked it, apart from Christmas where I just wasn't available to climb, and I think one other day as well I might have got like 2nd or 3rd instead. So I'm able to compete with these sort of negotiator and mace lineups. Mostly there is occasionally some combinations that catch me out just as I'm sort of learning the ship. I can occasionally get stuck behind Houndstooth. Specifically, there's like a really good turn order if I can get my ships in. That really helps at the start, but as I'm upgrading them that keeps changing, so I'm going to let that settle down and then try work on really consistent strategies. But I'm able to climb pretty easily anyway up to 1st each day, which makes a huge change in terms of crystal income, which I'll go over when it comes to the stats at the end of the video. In terms of how my Fleet Arena is looking, it is me and one other person who's worked on Home 1, so well done to them. I think it is a good choice, especially I think they did buy the Lightspeed bundles, but especially if you're not buying the Lightspeed bundles, it's a good choice. Is it the best free-to-play choice? I'm still undecided. I'm really thinking about refining my free-to-play farming guide, but I'm still very undecided on the best route forward. Do you go for Home 1 into Profundity, which makes sense for 90% of it for me, just because of the way like timings work out and the way it takes so long to farm the Razor Crest, and you can get this fleet up and running first and then farm the Profundity. The one thing that makes it tricky, and I'm really going to have a look at like how much energy is required for certain farms, is in order to unlock the Hans Millennium Falcon you need to farm 4 bounty hunter ships, which was fine for me because I already got 3 of them at 7 stars from a Lightspeed bundle, so that wasn't an issue for this account. But for free to play might be bit too much work in order to focus on Home 1 and Profundity first. So yeah, I'm playing around with that, but still undecided. So yeah, really happy with the fleet income. Another thing to quickly discuss, it feels like I'm doing this every video, but I'm that Bernie Sanders meme. I am yet again coming to you with my double or triple drops hoarding plan, which is tomorrow as I record this. So I've finished the hoarding. The way I've done it this time is because it's just 1 day of triple drops, I've actually decided to hoard for fleet energy as well and sort of miss out on the ship farms for a couple of days. I think I'm making good progress with them anyway, so that's not too much of an issue. But the reason I wanted to do this is if we hop on over to fleets, this is a very specific and niche use maybe, but maybe it'll apply to a lot of new accounts, is after I finish in triple drops farming the fleets that I want to, so I'll probably do 2 refreshes on Outrider, maybe 3, but I don't think I'm that desperate for the ship to do 3. And after I finish farming the ships, I will then go on over to these 3 nodes here and farm this gear, which I will eventually need. I'm good for at the moment, but it's good to build up a bit of a stockpile because it can be, you need a lot of it, and using fleet energy is quite good. But also during triple drops, it would be really good to get these 2 pieces, which are a relatively rare drop. They're not as rare as something like Omicrons, I tend to find, but just having triple drops. I did this during the last triple drops and it was great to get a little bit more of this stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be focusing on these farms. I'm not hoarding normal energy, and that's because I don't think it's really worthwhile to hoard everything. It annoys me slightly when I see people in the guild doing that, and actually if like the officers say to hoard, I don't think that entirely makes sense, because I guess you are missing out mostly on raid frequency, which has a direct impact on the amount of Mark II. So I guess just getting that little bit more normal energy for double and triple drops to me doesn't always make it worthwhile in terms of the Mark II. You'd be missing out if everyone hoards in the guild, which isn't the case usually, but I don't think that makes sense. And also you'll be missing out on daily rewards because you wouldn't be completing the 600 energy daily quest, and especially now that you get this era level currency, you're just slightly hamstringing yourself in terms of the rate you can progress your era characters and compete in the Coliseum leaderboard. So I really wouldn't want to miss out on any daily rewards, so that's why I don't hoard everything. So I'm just leaving normal energy just to do my normal farms and complete those daily request missions. So yeah, rant over for that aspect. In terms of other bits and pieces, so I've been making decent progress in Conquest, so I'm now in normal mode. I am on sector 5. I'm mostly not refreshing. Occasionally I will do a refresh just if I have time, like I've got 5 minutes, I'm not doing anything, I'll refresh and get a few more Conquest battles done. But I'm progressing, so I'm nearly halfway through the final sector, and most importantly in terms of crates, I should be on track for the second to last crate for normal mode, which will give 20 shards of the stranger, which is nice. I'm not going to unlock the stranger before he goes to proving grounds, but it'll be nice to have a little bit more of a head start. I already have 20 from, I think there was a Conquest community challenge, so already have 20. But what's really good is you get a good amount of gear from the crates in normal mode. I think actually more gear 12 stuff than you would in hard mode, which is pretty great. Bit of mod, bit of Zeta. So yeah, aiming for that box, and most importantly I'm just aiming to complete normal mode. I won't be 4 million for the next time, but just to have it done, so by the time that I am 4 million I can do hard mode straight away, because I am very rapidly increasing in GP, partly due to that lightspeed bundle I bought, partly because I'm working on fleets, and also because all of those anniversary lightspeed tokens are giving like hundreds of thousands in terms of GP each time. So I think before you know it, this account, and I think most others, will be at 4 million. So I'm nearly past 3 million, and this is sort of 7 weeks into the account. So yeah, I am spending, of course, but that even then it's going pretty quickly, I would say. So yeah, need to be ready for hard mode Conquest. In terms of other bits and pieces, so Coliseum, I'll go through the stats. So that has been going pretty well, I would say. Let's check this. Okay, yeah, streak continues. So I have been top 30, I think, for the past week, which has been really nice. I haven't spent anything more. I think I might have done one refresh just to get a little bit better RNG on one of the battles and jump up a tier to get good material. So yeah, 500 a day has been really great. I don't know how long this will last. I'm predicting over the next couple of weeks, after this current marquee finishes and we move on to the next one, I think there might be a bit of squish level 65 if we jump over to era units. So I won't go into it in detail here, but if you look through the data mines and what gear is actually in the Coliseum rewards and in the marquee rewards, without spending, it is currently not possible, if you're only getting to like 3 or 4 stars, to go past level 65. So potentially I may be able to get there by the end of this 2-week cycle, but then what will happen is people would start to presumably catch up once everyone's capped out at level 65. Of course, people spending and buying those higher priced gear packs, like it will have to be this one and this one, would be able to push past it. And yeah, and maybe people might get to level 70, but I think from memory you need to have had a bit of investment in marquees to get this other material. So either level 65 or 70, you will be capped out if you don't spend. I'm not sure, I don't think I will spend. If there is really compelling reason to spend, I don't know, something to do with like the legendary, I might, but I don't think it'd be worth it just to get maybe slightly more era currency, maybe for a month. Is probably not going to be a good return. So we'll have to see how that all shakes out. I won't do a Coliseum battle today, already running pretty long as per usual, but hopefully I'll be able to start clearing this tier 5 and then moving on to tier 6. Probably going to have to wait till the Yotas tomorrow to attempt to do that. But yeah, I think Coliseum is going pretty well. If we head over to the ship, so the era store, I now have over 5,000 era currency, which is amazing. So I will be purchasing this token. I always double check because I am terrified of spending these incorrectly. Mon Mothma, yes, so I will be buying the support Erodium Lightspeed token. And if we head on over to squads, I will be applying that to Mon Mothma. Gone okay? Yeah, so she is at R5, which technically I don't think I need to farm past that. I'm still undecided. I don't know if I can bear having a 6-star character just sitting there, because she's not actually needed in the battles for profundity, of course, because you use ships, and she's not a pilot either. And what that means is, I think once I refresh this, actually let's just do that now. Okay, so I've just restarted the game, and yes, as you can see, Mon Mothma is technically done, and I think this would also be the case for JML. Yeah, so I technically don't need to work on Mon Mothma shards. I don't know, I might still, if I have spare normal energy, I might as well just complete her. Could maybe make a little bit of use out of Mon Mothma in GAC. Not a very good team, but maybe at lower levels. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if I don't know if I could just bear looking at a 6-star character at Relic 5 just sitting there. So this might not be an efficiency thing, this might just be for my own sanity thing. But I will definitely be farming Admiral Radis now that I bumped him up to 5 stars, and I will start working on his energy nodes because he is required at Relic 9, so will have to be 7 stars. So that is 2 more relics for the profundity. I can hopefully show the progress there if I can click correct buttons. Yeah, so looking really good. It is quite, I would say, an easy farm. There is only 7 relic characters, but now it's just a case of bumping up the relics on Radis. I'm nearly there with Cassian. Actually, it won't be that visible, but a lot of these pieces I have quite good progress in already. You can just see that. Yeah, so really starting to get there. So yeah, nearly there for profundity. I guess one other thing would be GAC. So I have moved up to Carbonite 3. I think the round has just started. So let's have a quick look at this. Is he okay? A big account. Only 1 GL. We could have him. Let's what is he set? Tuscans. I just avoid a turn meter team. Go lead. Sure. Yeah, let's actually quickly, I think for this one I'm just going to rock Phoenix. My GAC teams are starting to expand. I might have to be quite careful with banners for this one. So let's, and I do now have this guy at relics. Do I want, yes, I'll use my, I've got 15% max health, bit of potency, bit of crit damage. I am actually going to start to farm Datacrons once I finish normal mode Conquest. It's not as good as hard mode in terms of what drops, but I might try take this up to level 9 and maybe farm another one, which it'd be quite fun just to have a few perfect Datacrons with all of those reroll mats in Carbonite GAC, I think. So yeah, looking forward to that. This should hopefully be overkill. I'll just go for Mando first to remove that potential for an insta kill. But yeah, they'll just roll all over them, and we'll see what's on their back wall. Let's just stick in auto. Lovely stuff. I could have maybe tried to underman there, to be honest. What do we have? Alright, he's slightly annoying. Bit of pickle potentially. So I've had a wee look. I think what I'm going to go for is, I think I'm going to go for a Relic Delta overkill, and I'm going to save. I'm just a little bit worried about running like a turn meter Empire team on the Tuscans, so I'm going to run an Empire team mostly, and I'll maybe, who do I have at high relics? Nobody that compelling. You know what, stick you, yeah, let's just stick you in there. I'll go underman for the other one, and what I can do is I'm going to bring in the Datacron for this one, because I won't need it for the other one, and hopefully just, yeah, wipe them out, if that is at all possible. With the armor pen, let's crunch them. I'm going quiet. This is, oh, okay. I don't like how they've just gone straight for Tarkin. Can we land an ability block? Oh, okay, that was the savior, I think. It's quite I'm glad I brought the Datacron for this one. I was worried. Maybe I shouldn't have feared the Tuscans so much. Okay, so I think we're starting to get there. Can we go for the kill? Oh, not quite. Let's do that. Okay, Jolie's down. Let's get Basti. Ho ho. Okay, let's do that. And let's start picking them off. This is going to be terrible banners, so this might not be the GAC anyway. But yeah, I was just a little scared of the Tuscans and using a turn meter team. Not great banners, but we'll try and make up for that with this guy. Let's, do we dare? Do we dare? Yeah, let's go for it. Just gonna solo it. Yeah, yep. Bit of a card using SWGOH on offense here. Probably could have just tried to get a stop, but oh well. Decent banners. This could be a bit, I did bring my Home 1 fleet. Oh, so this could maybe be a good showcase of the old Home 1 fleet. So I've been running Ghost, Bistan and Ravensclaw in the starting lineup with these guys as reinforcements. I won't bring the other one, just try pinch one more banner. Yeah, so this could be relatively tricky. There's no Hound's Tooth, which we love to see. Let's just go for the kill on Anakin if we can. So I'm just gonna do this. So then you get to run the ultimate straight away, and I'm just gonna use this to essentially gun down Anakin if I at all can, which I can. We'll try to take out Ahsoka. Yeah, this is great. It's so much fun just being able to take a million turns at the start of the battle. Yeah, should not have been worried. There we go. Okay, can we just finish it? Not quite. That's fine. Nice dodge. And yeah, we're through. Did not need those two other reinforcements, apparently. Okay. Got the field clear. We'll see. I was a little bit inefficient with banners, and I haven't really left anything for them on defense. But yeah, bit of fun. I'm just popping in the next day as I'm putting the video together. We have an outcome for this GAC, so turns out they couldn't get through my fleet anyway. So yeah, it looks like they're stopped, and even if they were able to clear, they wouldn't have enough banners. So yeah, nice little victory there. Yeah, so that does it in terms of the account itself. I'm going to just go through my summary statistics now, which I've revamped a little bit. Okay, so I've been working on this overview for the roster reviews that I've started doing, but yeah, I'm also like to use this for my own account as well, just to track progress. So over the last 10 days, I've actually unlocked 2 new assault battles, or I've completed 2 new assault battles at certain levels. So as I mentioned, Duel of the Fates now R7, and also Rebel Roundup. So I was able to use the bounty hunters I got from the finalizer bundle, which were Bosk, Cad Bane, and Boba Fett, all R5, no Zetas, no nothing. I just stuck some like my SOKR mods on Boba Fett, I think, and had to manually play it, and I think only got 1 or 2 stars, I would have thought. So we'll have to do it again, but yeah, was able to get to CT1 with a little bit of like modding and manual play, so that's good. I now have 5 of the original assault battles, at least at CT1. I did attempt Ground War, but just got to I think the mythic tier, so the one before CT1. The issue is that I just don't have a good Jedi leader, or I didn't at the time. I now have Keller and Beck at R7, who I would expect to really help in that assault battle. So looking forward to completing that. And then Fanatical Devotion, I'll just wait until the Inquisitorius Lightspeed tokens come out next month in January. And of course, no progress for these resource GLs. In terms of overall statistics, yeah, so I guess that is about 7 weeks ish. So as I mentioned, the GP is skyrocketing. So this is, I think, since the last one, so 10 days. And we've had several Lightspeed tokens in that time. A lot of it is from the Home 1 fleet. So yeah, really going up quickly. That this rate won't continue forever, but it's fun to see at the start. Guild as well, I think this is, I guess, the case for a lot of accounts growing quickly. Raid score, no more increase, but now that I have Keller and Beck, I'm hopefully going to be able to get my score up to 1 million, and hopefully other people in the guild would be able to do the same to start to increase the box. GAC up a division. Fleet, as I mentioned, I'm getting 1 most days, so I put it there for now. Maybe technically it's 2 on average, but it's pretty much the same crystals. Coliseum rank consistently in the top 30 over the last week, so crystal income is really good, sort of nearing that 750 range to do 3 refreshes of all energies. Now it'll just be the case of maybe not refreshing normal every time, but I should be able to supplement crystals in a few other ways. Now this is, I guess, something to look at is Mark II. So I've kept a little bit of an eye on the frequency that we're able to do the raid, and it has dipped to roughly every 8 days. This has been due to a few reasons. I think that the guild actually moved what they called guild shells, so everyone just moved into a new empty guild in order to change the reset time. Didn't know that was necessary, but apparently you can't change the reset time in a guild. And I think because of that, there's a bit of disruption, and there's quite a few times like the tickets were getting held, I think, for people to join. And then also I think over the last week, I have a feeling all of the double drops and triple drops have meant people aren't refreshing and doing all of their tickets. So it's been about 8 days now between raids, when you take into account like tickets maxing out, that sort of thing. So a thing to keep an eye on. I would like for the raid to be done every 6 days. I am aware that's probably unrealistic in quite a new guild where there will be more turnaround, but ideally I would be in a guild that's running the raid at least every 7 days. So just keeping an eye on it. And as you can see, that shift from 7 to 8 days is 1,000 Mark II, which isn't per week, which isn't insignificant. That is like a chunk of gear or a bunch of relic mats. So yeah, something to look at. And also Mark III, less so. I'm less concerned about this. I'm more concerned about maximizing the Mark II in an era currency that has been big increase just by getting to the top 30. So that works out to an Erodium Lightspeed token every 10 days at this rate. I don't expect to always be in the top 30. As I mentioned, there might be a little bit of a squish coming at the end of the era, which might make things a little bit more difficult to stay in the top 30 and maybe even the top 60. So something to think about for the future in terms of spending. So the only thing I've purchased over the last week is that Lightspeed bundle for £10. I did that really instead of buying the Conquest pass, which isn't really worth it. It's normal mode, so that brings the total up to 130. I've started to put together a way of charting this a little bit more in terms of the overall cumulative spend over time. As you can see, I'm pretty much tracking at the £50 a month rate. So this is what this red line represents. So this is £50 per 30 days. As you can see at the start, I spent a lot on the various Lightspeed bundles and stuff. So that has sort of put me ahead of it, and I've remained pretty much parallel since. I think I will dip a bit closer to the target towards the end of the month, because I don't think I'll spend again until the next episode pass, which will be in 2 weeks. So we'll hopefully start to return towards this red line, which is the target. What else? So I've also slightly updated my era rank and fleet ranks. Are two things that I want to keep track of, just to try visualize it a little bit better. In terms of era, you can actually see like there's a bit of variance at the start. I think everyone trying to work out what was going on. Should you spend? I think I was doing like a little bit of spending maybe around here, so there's a lot of change at the start. But since then, a slow climb up. I'm now presenting this in terms of rank. The red lines are the important ranks, so top 30 for the 500, top 60 for the 300, and then 200 down here. And I was sort of slowly climbing up in rank, getting closer to that top 30. And then I think ever since Chewbacca and Yoda came to the game, I was able to sort of flirt with that red line there. And then over the last week, for whatever reason, I was able to push a bit higher and stay in the top 30. I was moving down the past couple of days. I haven't added the latest one, which was today, so that's back up to, I think it was it 26 or 28, something like that. So just about staying in this range over this week here, which is great. Fleet rank, more of a U shape. So started off well with the finalizer bundle, then everyone started to get the negotiator as part of the JMK bundle, and I slowly started to drift down more into this sort of between the top 10 and top 20 range, sort of fluctuating between. But then since getting the home one, I've moved back up to being able to get rank 1. Apart from this was Christmas, so I wasn't around at the time of my payout. I think my family would not have been happy if I did that. So yeah, good progress for both. So yeah, that takes us to the end of this, again, very long update. Looking forward to the next week and the new year. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, of course, I'd be very appreciative if you left a like or subscribe. And yeah, thank you very much, and see you next time.